The dystopian mandate that equates physical fitness with moral virtue is not a public health initiative, but a mechanism of control designed to punish the very discipline it claims to reward. And true rebellion requires not optimizing your body for state approval, but reclaiming movement as a private act of joy when the system demands you perform wellness as penance. In Fatocracy, Robert Sefer delivers a satirical speculative fiction novel that transforms the body horror trope into a searing exploration of systemic hypocrisy and bodily autonomy, proving that in societies defined by biosurveillance, liberation isn't found in compliance, it's forged in the radical act of honoring your vessel's truth when culture demands you treat it as a crime scene. This isn't merely another dark comedy with absurdist premises. It's a psychologically precise narrative where every calorie counted feels like both obedience and indictment. Consent to exist is negotiated through self-definition rather than assumed metrics, and healing means protecting your peace when policy demands you earn the right to breathe. From the first sterile gym narration, listeners are immersed in a world where health is hierarchy and presence is the only unregulated space. Perfect for fans of emotionally intelligent speculative satire and stories where female agency defies biopolitical expectations, this audiobook serves up atmospheric unease, relentless emotional honesty, and protagonists whose journey from compliant citizen to sovereign embodied being resonates with anyone who's ever been told their worth was measurable. When fitness instructor Alara Vance receives her mandatory wellness penalty notice despite perfect biometrics, she expects bureaucratic error, not to discover the punishment mirrors the exact suppression she's endured beneath years of performative health. And the underground trainer Julian Thorne's quiet refusal to validate the system creates space for a connection that defies state protocol. But as they navigate surveillance checkpoints and buried attractions, Alara realizes this penalty isn't about correction, it's about recalibration. Sefer masterfully avoids reducing Alara to naive victim or Julian to rebellious savior. Instead, he crafts a relationship rooted in radical reciprocity within constraint, where trust is earned through honoring boundaries even as danger blurs them, and where intimacy emerges from seeing each other beyond assigned metrics. The audiobook narration amplifies this emotional alchemy, capturing Alara's disciplined composure fracturing into fierce clarity, and Julian's guarded intensity revealing warmth beneath stoic vigilance. You don't just hear their bond deepen, you feel the seismic shift of two souls learning that some bodies can only be reclaimed when you stop letting algorithms define them. What elevates Fatocracy beyond typical dystopian fare is its nuanced portrayal of biosurveillance as inherited trauma rather than abstract oppression. Alara isn't merely evading punishment, she's confronting how wellness culture taught her to equate worth with visibility, challenging the notion that safety requires constant self-auditing. Julian doesn't liberate her through resistance. He creates sanctuary where her complexity can exist without diminishment, honoring her autonomy even as his own conditioning surfaces. Their relationship evolves through acts of radical reciprocity, sharing silences during unsanctioned workouts that bypass performance, establishing rhythms that protect both physical integrity and psychological safety, and defending each other from enforcers who mistake embodiment for insurrection. Supporting characters add vital texture, fellow citizens whose compliance encodes suppressed grief, officials whose concern carries institutional weight, even the city itself rendered as living archive whose censors absorb decades of unspoken bargains. Every interaction reinforces the novel's core truth. In systems built on extraction, tenderness is technique, and presence is the only sustainable resource. Even the speculative mechanics serve thematic depth, with penalty calculations mirroring emotional attunement and forbidden movements becoming metaphors for earned trust. For audiobook listeners, this production is an immersive sensory descent into clinical intimacy. The narrator embodies Alara and Julian with remarkable distinction. Alara's voice carries crisp intelligence laced with dawning sovereignty, while Julian's low timbre trembles with suppressed tenderness beneath disciplined cadence, making their chemistry palpable even during conflict. Sound design enhances atmosphere without overwhelming immersion. Distant biometric beeps marking temporal rhythm, rain against gym windows during vulnerable confessions, the hushed rustle of workout gear syncing with breath during moments of clarity, all anchor existential stakes in tangible reality. Pacing mirrors the cadence of bodily reclamation, deliberate during reflection and alliance building, then surging with urgency as external pressures collide with internal awakenings. Whether you're commuting through regulated landscapes or sitting in twilight solitude, the audiobook creates a portable sanctuary where slowness feels sacred and embodiment feels lifeline. It's storytelling as somatic validation, transforming passive listening to active participation in a journey where justice isn't found in exemptions, but in restoration. Ultimately, Fatocracy redefines speculative satire by centering female epistemology within biopolitical frameworks. It satisfies genre cravings for sharp social commentary and cathartic resolution, while delivering substantive commentary on wellness industrial complex, masculine vulnerability, and the radical act of trusting embodied knowledge when systems demand conformity. No prior series knowledge is needed. It stands confidently as a complete emotional odyssey. If you've ever wondered whether health can coexist with humanity, or if true strength requires embracing what others penalize, this audiobook will affirm that sometimes the most powerful act is simply refusing to be measured. Press play, step off the scale, and prepare to believe that even in landscapes shaped by surveillance, hearts still find ways to beat. Your next favorite speculative novel isn't waiting in perfect compliance. It's waiting in the brave, trembling choice to honor your whole self.